Welcome once again to another Shocko the Clown show. Today's movie is called Scared to Death. A dead woman with Joan Crawford's shoulders is scared of clowns, especially one with a blue face. She has her own personal doctor's office downstairs, just off the living room. Then all these people show up and start wandering around the house, waiting for her to die of fright. It stars Bela Lugosi in his only color film, Angelo Rizzuto as Lugosi's sidekick, George Zucco, and Nat Pendleton. So grab yourself a pillow and prepare to be scared to death.
Is this the body?
Yes, Doctor. And the police are particularly anxious that the cause of death be determined at the earliest possible moment.
It's a pity. She was a very beautiful woman. One hates to perform an autopsy on a beautiful woman.
But you've no other choice, Doctor.
Most unusual. There are no marks of violence on the body. What do they suspect? Poison? Have they any idea?
My understanding is, Doctor, that the authorities are entirely at sea as to how she was killed. They know why, and they also have the fellow who killed her. But...
Yes, that doesn't matter. That's none of our business. Our business is to find out what killed her. And yet, one often wonders, what could have caused the last thought that was cut off by death? If it was spoken now, what would it be?
Yes, you're here. You found me at last. But you know what you kill me. I warn you. Don't come and outstep. No, don't, please. Don't. No, I told you I didn't want the bandage.
Why, Laura? Why are you so opposed to the bandage? Does it remind you of something, perhaps?
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing, Laura, nothing. Now, won't you lie down again and let me complete the examination? You're a sick girl, you know, in a highly nervous condition.
I want to know what you meant by saying the bandage reminded me of something.
If you don't know, how should I?
You don't fool me for a minute, Doctor. I know how you feel about me.
Do you, Laura? Then I wish you'd tell me, for I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you at all.
You're clever, Doctor. But I'm wise to you and that fool of a son of yours.
How long have you been married to Ward now?
Too long.
And why don't you give him his divorce? He's asked you often enough.
I'll give him a divorce when I'm good and ready.
I see.
I'm not afraid of anything he can do, or you, or anyone else. What's that?
Your heart's beating like a trip hammer. I must warn you that this high state of nervous tension...
What's that noise?
It's only a branch tapping against the window. Now, my dear Laura, if you want me to help you, you must tell me what it is you fear.
I told you I'm not afraid of anything. I know what's going on here. Someone's trying to scare me out, but it won't work, see? Here I am, and here I'll stay until I rot.
I'm afraid there's more truth in that than you suspect.
Laura, I must ask you not to cause Father any more trouble. I don't want you threatening him, you hear?
You too. You're so cute. I'm sure you want to be alone.
You're not going to make him pay for my mistake.
What are you going to do about it?
I'd like to.
You'd like to choke me, wouldn't you, Ward? You haven't got the nerve. Here. This is the only thing you ever gave me. You can have it back.
She's right. I gave her this when we were married. It's the only gift that ever passed between us.
Ward, what do you propose to do about Laura?
What can I do? She won't leave me. She won't give me a divorce.
Well, things can't go on this way, you know.
Dad, what is the matter with her? What do you think is wrong?
I don't know.
She wasn't this way until she began getting those letters from abroad, you remember?
Yes, it had something to do with those letters.
But you would have thought that when they stopped coming, that...
What is it, Elizabeth?
There's a patient, Doctor, a Mrs. Williams.
Williams?
That's the name she gave, and she's decked out like she's going to a horse show.
I can't see anyone today. Ask her to make another appointment.
Dad, please don't let what has happened interfere with your practice.
Very well, send her in a few minutes.
Sure, Doctor. Oh, yeah, that Bill Raymond's waiting. Do you want to see him?
Who's he?
That private cop who's always hanging around just hoping somebody gets murdered.
Oh, yes, he's probably come for his check. Take care of it, will you, Ward?
Yes. Elizabeth,
Yes.
this for you.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Warren. But this belongs to Mrs. Van E, doesn't it?
Not anymore. It's all yours.
She won't get sore, will she? I don't want to have any trouble with her. You know how she is.
I know. We all know Elizabeth. And I want to thank you for your patience.
Run along now, Elizabeth.
Yes, Doctor.
You made a fatal mistake, my boy, in marrying Laura.
Yes, I know. But you don't suppose I'm going to stand for it forever, do you?
No, I don't. And I don't think it will be necessary.
Do you have a plan?
I think it'll be better if you leave everything to me.
From the day a mysterious caller came to see Dr. Van E.
Oh, yes, I remember now, Mrs. Williams. I spoke to you this morning on the telephone. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you any more now than I told you then.
Oh, naturally, Doctor. I did not mean to imply that there were any abnormal goings-on here.
I assure you there is not, Mrs. Williams, nor will there be.
Nevertheless, Doctor, the way you were described to me and the way your place was described to me, I am certain that I am in the right place.
May I ask from whom you obtained these descriptions?
From a friend, Doctor, a mutual friend.
Lilybeth, the woman I love. Can't we be friends?
Stop tracking your big flat feet after me wherever I go. I've got things to do.
Oh, gee, it's wonderful just to see you around, busying yourself, the little housewife.
I never knew the cop who didn't love to stand around and watch other people work.
Mrs. Williams, it's obvious from your conversation that you've come into possession of certain facts concerning my past. I know of only one person who could have given you that information, and it was my belief, yes, even my hope. That person was dead. But let me say that even if that person were alive, I should not submit to blackmail from you or from anyone else.
You show great courage, Doctor, for one in your unusual position. There has been no question of blackmail. I came here seeking your cooperation, which you have refused to give. So, let us call the matter closed.
Thank you.
Au revoir, Doctor.
Then came this sinister pair.
My little guardian of the doorbell. If you had waited another second, Inigo and I should have kicked the door in.
Yes, sir.
Sir, there is an air of inquiry about you that immediately offends my deepest nature. There is something suggesting Scotland Yard, the French Sûreté, the Italian Carabinieri, the Turkish Polizei, and other minions of the law. In short, sir, I think you're a cop.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I believe I'm in the home of Dr. Joseph Van E.
Yes, sir. I mean, sirs.
Oh, do not be polite to Inigo. He's only offended by it. Run along, Inigo. Make yourself at home.
We got a nice tree in the yard, but it ain't got no coconuts.
My little friend Inigo is deaf and dumb. He cannot hear and he cannot speak. But he reads the lips, and I would advise you to say nothing to annoy him. For his temper is short, indeed.